Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. Take a deep breath, everybody. Hi everyone, how's everybody doing? Today is Monday. It's March 23rd, 2020, and I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read in front of you. This is a 7-deck read. There's a lot of energy and a lot of cards here. You may have noticed a shift in the energy from yesterday till today. I definitely did. I did a great clearing today. If you're not familiar with Spiritual Acceleration, I would check her out. Bonnie's great. She actually had a special one for coronavirus today that I participated in, but she had a guest on there too, and her energy was amazing too. Her name is Jennifer Ho, H-O-U-G-H, I think it is. And when she came into the session, boy, did I have some intense energy connect. But there's been some downloads and upgrades and clearings that have been going on, and I'm definitely feeling really good today. So a lot of stuff came in. I connected with a lot of friends yesterday just to check in on everybody. And most of them did respond, and everyone I know is okay. And today too, I was getting more, so a couple more people responded to me today that didn't get back to me yesterday. And then a lot of stuff from these connections were coming up in the code today. So I want to get right into that. Remember, it's a general read for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames, so it'll affect the Divine Masculine within the Feminine as well. And it is general, so if it doesn't resonate with you, don't force it to fit, okay? So again, it's March 23rd, 2020, and 23 is the King of Wands. It's also a 5 of expansion, freedom, and change. And the King of Wands is the man of passion, right? He gets things done. He's very passionate, desires, movement, physical, all of those attributes. The day adds up to 30, which is a 3 of love, family. Well, the 3 is of coming together. It's of joy. It's of speaking your truth, being authentic to yourself, and just coming together, being social, siblings, all of that kind of energy. But it is the 30 also, the 4 of Wands, which is the union card, the home, the stability, the big occasions, the union. So the King of Wands and the 4 of Wands, right? The man of passion at home. He's very much in his energy because they're both Wands energies, right? Today, intimacy issues definitely came up as a topic. It was very rainy. It got colder again here, but it was fine. It was just a rainy day. No major issues. Let's see here. The SIRIAN STARSEED deck, which is the main deck for this read, the big cards, was cut and dealt at 10:30 to 31. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, 30 is the 4 of Wands again, and 31 is the 5 of Wands. And then a friend of mine called me back from yesterday, and it was a masculine, and a lot of his wounding was coming up. We have talks about that kind of stuff. And so a lot of the masculine's father-child wounding was coming up, as far as fathers who may have cheated or been abusive or even sexually abusive, or just cheated on their mothers, causing intimacy issues for the Divine Masculine. And I was noticing a lot of connections. It was very interesting to why people bond together, because they may have similar childhood wounds, which was very interesting. I noticed today. The number 14 was coming up, as well as the number 5 and the age 5, right? Because children until the age of 5 are still very much open to the etheric realms. It's not until they get conditioned to the fears of their parents and their family, the things around them, that starts, closing them down and shutting them off to the etheric realms. And just the age 5 of children was coming up in the topic of conversations today as well, when people received wounding. Was there something else there? Yeah. And also secret agencies. So just secrets in general were coming up in the read too. The read was finished at 11:51, so this is Justice, and the 51 is the King of Swords, very much the masculine energy when he's being in his truth, or not in his truth, but being the very logical man. And the major arcana in this read were just the Lovers and the Starseed card, which is like the Fool. And then after the read, because I pull a few cards on either side of the read, depending on what I'm guided to do that day. Today, just Karma came up after the read, and Karma's like Judgment in a traditional deck. We have 3 cups, 2 swords, 2 wands, and 2 pentacles. So the energy was very well distributed today and aired on the side of cups, which is great, that emotionally based energy for the masculine. And then we had court cards of the Page of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and then after the read, the King of Swords also came up. We had double 10s and triple 1s, so it's very much about that high vibration of the trill, the 1010. And the code line, again, was also about number 10. So just that very, very high vibrational energy coming in was the significant energy today. And it was all around parenting and nature and on the code line. But PA was covered in parenting, so it was coming up renting. And where that goes is very cool, so I think you'll appreciate that. But so renting and nature were coming up together, a very interesting combination. But then PA is Pa, but it's also the state of Pennsylvania where I live. And so some concerns there may be coming up as well. AFS came up, American Field Service, which was very interesting. I actually experienced that when I was a child. My mother used to have foreign exchange students stay at our house. And also Atlas was coming up. So again, the weight of the world, but also the Atlas of the Titans versus the Olympians. And where the weight of the world upon your shoulders came from. The number 10 was on this code line again, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So the destiny regarding Pa renting, or the father renting, and nature was involved. I don't know if you see where that's going, but AFS being a good key, right? Sharing around the world, the students who stay in other countries at other people's houses to really learn about each other is a good key to the nth degree to carry that weight of the world upon our shoulders. IR was also coming up, which is the section I used to work in, interventional radiology, as well as energetic exchange, and as well as the I being the Re energy, which is the shaman. Shaman working the earth, working with natural things. So father issues for the masculine definitely coming up, things possibly in Pennsylvania. So don't forget the Valley Forge is in Pennsylvania. So there may be a lot of war wounds that are coming up for masculines having to do with things like that. Definitely Germany and Austria, and I think the Dutch was coming up too. They were all coming up during the read today. And also, Rent-A-Father was coming up. So when masculine didn't have a father that he could relate to, he probably would have made ties with other masculines who are older than him, and may have forged close friendships with them, or had other people in his life, like an uncle or just a friend who was older, or a grandfather that they may have become more attached. So like Rent-A-Father was definitely coming up. And big brothers and big sisters in that respect also comes up. So AFS, goodness, and carrying the weight of the world upon their shoulders. Remember that you, as the divine masculines and the feminines, I am the shaman. And don't forget that we are God's children renting nature from our Father. All right, so that's where the message was going. The American Field Service and the Knights. I was just getting Knights of the Round Table, but key in their high vibration of the shaman and the native Indians, because they understood how to work with the earth in a natural way as opposed to destroying the earth. So again, the message for today, and I'm getting major connection right now, is that we are renting from our dad, right? And so we have to leave this place that we're renting in the same condition in which we rented it from him in the first place, which I thought was a great parallel from Spirit. So it reminded me of a bunch of things too, because my mother was interviewed by AFS about her experience when she was in the Alzheimer's facility, but still able to recount some things. And I was supposed to get that when they were finished with it, but it was back in 15 and I haven't heard anything. So I was reminded to email out to them about that footage, if it's out there, and if not, because I wanted to see the footage of my mother's interview. And also that I'd set up to do that clearing with spiritual acceleration today. And I remembered that to do that just in time, right before it was supposed to start, which normally I probably would have missed it because I would have forgotten all about it. So my son did the clearing with me today, which was a lot of fun, and he really enjoyed it, and he felt all the energies just as much as I did. Online from the headers was coming up flames, Dungeons and Dragons, but those kind of energies. First two Sirestus Knights, I think it was just a game, and then Treat Monk, or Trent Monk and Wizards, and Waiting in the Wings. So those were the energies that were coming up. Well, nothing really significant. But definitely when I was going through the clearing today, which I've done many of her clearings before, but this one was specific for the corona, and she was doing it special. She had 2 guests on today as well, along with her team of clearers. I definitely felt my left shoulder, which a lot of you know that I injured my shoulder in the fall, and most of it's good now. I just have, there's one limited direction of movement with my arm still, 1 or 2 that I still can't do, but I'm much more functional now than I was. But I definitely felt some clearing from the part of my shoulder that is still wounded on the top of my shoulder, so that was kind of cool today. Oh, no, something else that was really funny in the clearing today. Normally she has you call in anyone else you want in your family, friends, whatever, that you want to have cleared. But when I did that, because she wasn't really doing that part today, when I called in people around, which I don't usually do, I actually called in all of our teams, not just my own team, but everybody's team. And literally after I did that, like 5-10 minutes later, while Bonnie's doing her group clearing for everyone, all of a sudden, which she doesn't normally say, she says, "Oh, there's a whole lot of guides and angels here." It was really funny. What else came up there? Just major, like I said, when Jennifer Ho came up, I was getting major connection, and so did my son. Really good, clean connection. And I was getting downloads yesterday and last night as well. And again, the 5-year-old thing came up for me in a personal way on phone calls. And then Jennifer also brought up the being the 5-year-old co-creator, because around 3 to 5 is when we lose that natural ability to co-create, because that's how we come into this world. It just gets taken away from us by all of our fears and our templates that we're taught as we grow up. So being the 5-year-old or 3-year-old in this adult body where you have all the resources to do what you want to do. So just talking about that energy. And also alcoholism definitely came up. So alcoholism, and it definitely was coming up in my relationships. And it was, I mean, that's obvious to me, but there were actually certain relationships it became more clear how obvious it was. And not necessarily in a blatant drop-down alcoholic way, but just in people who may only drink a glass or 2 of something a day, which a lot of people don't consider that being an alcoholic, but a lot of people do. So there's a lot of, so you might want to look at yourself. Is that something that's an issue for you? Can you control it, or is it controlling you? And that doesn't have to be just alcohol. It can be anything that you're addicted to in your life. So again, we get back to the coding here. It was 3:09 when I finished my clearing session. And so again, we're back to the AFS and the 10 of Flames, which is that, you know, the weight of the world upon your shoulders energy, and the shaman. Okay, so the shaman carrying that weight of the world, being the good knight is the key, and the American field surface, or this can just be I always get A for me is Adam's, but the Adam's apple was coming up as well, and the gulp, right? When the masculine doesn't want to speak his truth, he gulps, the Adam's apple shows. So that was coming up here as the temperatures rise. And then I was getting sad sack, or the sad test is key here, or Sophia's after death test, right? That's the connection of Mary Magdalene with Jesus after death on the cross. The Atlas weight of the world, and I am the shaman renting nature from God. So keep it in the condition that he left you with it, right? The key knight also is coming up in the clash of the titans in perfect fit of shamans. So the key knight in clash of the titans in perfect fit with no clash of the shamans. So here was when the 4 and 4 were coming together, of the 8 or the H, because they're both the number 8, so it doesn't really matter. But the 2 4s that fit perfectly together, like stacking chairs on each other, was coming up here. So you can either be in the clash of the titans or in the togetherness of the shamans. You can either work with nature or work against nature, which is just coming up now. So again, the shamans are renting from God and nature to keep it in the condition with which it was given to you. So I love that Spirit brought it up that way. And then with Clash of the Titans coming up, Kronos and Atlas being the most famous of the Titans before the Olympians. The movies that came up, Clash of the Titans, one was in 1981. That was funny because Harry Hamlin was Perseus and Laurence Olivier was Zeus in the 1981 film. And then 2010, Liam Neeson was Zeus and Sam Worthington was Perseus. But in the movie, Perseus must battle Medusa and the Kraken to save Princess Andromeda. And Perseus in this movie, or in the fables, was considered Zeus's favored son. And here I was getting after I wrote this down that the lesson was, don't destroy your father. Because I don't know how much you guys know about that, right? So, because Zeus killed his father just like his father killed his father. So I always forget which one's which. But what is it, Uranus or Neptune? Was it Neptune the father? I can't remember. But whoever killed their father, then Zeus then killed them. And so the message definitely was here, with God wanting us to keep the earth in the condition which he left it for us. Again, was passing it along. The lesson is, don't destroy your father, because then your son's going to destroy you the same way. So when I put in the header, I put in another key into the computer to see what came up, having to do with Clash of the Titans. And this header was so cool that came up. It was literally Adam, which was totally separate from me writing Adam's apple. But Adam, ATOM, came up, and Clash of the Titans. With Jim Al-KHALILI. And that was a science documentary on YouTube about the atom. So that might be really cool to watch. Again, it was Adam, ATOM, : Clash of the Titans. And then in parentheses was his name, Jim Al, AL-KH ALILI, a science documentary on YouTube. Another header came up similar to that was BBC, Atom 2 of 3, The Key to the Cosmos on Vimeo. And then the third thing that came up that I noticed was Knight Franks. So Knight was KNIGHT. Knight Franks, and that's what the site is called, or his site. His Global Occupier Survey was what I noticed in that heading. Okay, so getting into this read for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames, we start off with the Page of Cups, which is upright. We actually have the Page of Cups right here, the Seeker of Chalices, and the Adept of Chalices. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not the Knight of Cups, this is the Seven of Cups over here. I was thinking it was for some reason. But this is the Page of Cups upright. And then we have the Ace of Cups here, the Four of Wands next card, and then the next two cards are the Ten of Swords reversed, which is good, and then Ace of Swords reversed. And then on top again, like I said, the Seeker of Chalices, or the Page of Cups. So there's a message of love after being dumped, purging, crying, or overwhelmed, unstable, moving, visiting, or ending a marriage, or ending celebrations, conventions, whatever needed to be canceled because of the situation. But the worst is over. It's time for bliss. In split lies and cutting through the BS, the need to cut to the chase. There's a new passion or growth offered from a Queen of Cups, feeling, and remember, Queen of Cups can be a water sign, but it can just be someone who's very nurturing, kind, and intuitive as well. And water signs are, of course, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. So the Queen of Cups, new passion or growth is being offered from the Queen of Cups, feeling bliss, now the worst is over, and choosing a new path. left of the twins, which is the twin path. The sovereign left behind injured as the Knight of Wands rushes in passionately with the Fool with an open heart close behind him or her. The Divine Feminine in a bliss state chooses her twin, or as the Divine Feminine uses her right hand or her right side, her masculine side, to choose her passion or her third energy, the Divine Masculine uses his left hand to choose his or his twin, or vice versa. After dumped or in the dumps and split, there's a message of love that comes in. Sovereign in exile, injured or ill, waiting for him to be free to leap to her, or waiting for him to heal his injuries to be fully healed when he returns to her. The King of Swords and King of Pentacles are together here, detoxing the exposed secret, where there's no peace and uncomfortable energies, feeling trapped, imprisoned, their hands tied, and the King of Wands upright, implementing a plan to offer love and to be love. The King of Wands looking down or in on a strategy below of the Knight of Cups offering love, and the King of Wands thinking it's out of his or her territory or realm of knowledge. But that's so as far as the King of Wands thinks, right? But he doesn't know what's best for the Knight of Wands. Only the Knight of Wands knows what's best for the Knight of Wands. So at 402, which is the Emperor and the High Priestess, the King of Wands thinks they'll be unable to keep his or her head above water. A little lizard is on the platform with the King of Wands, eyeing the King of Wands' money clip slippers and legacy of long tails and shin splints, calf corsets, or Dutch or German descent. And then Dutch shin splints were coming up, and that was coming up as Babla, B-A-B.L-A. And then a Bavarian splint was coming up, which literally is to immobilize joints or fractures. And no more constant gardening, venturing out beyond his or her yard, so not staying home. The Page of Cups and Knight of Cups are both upright here and offering love to the King of Cups reversed in the downturn or slowdown or twist of fate post-war. Remember, there's always PTSD and looting after the war. Maybe with a rake in the yard, cleaning up, or growing roots upward to the etheric realms times 10, or carrying the weight of the world by emotionally detaching when all is said and done and everyone has left the field. He's the only cleanup crew. No one else will do it or can do it because it's his field of specialty. Past life relationships comes up, but even underneath that is healing family issues, which was, I think that came up yesterday too. Past life relationship, and then beneath that was healing family issues. And then at night, with a mirror held up, without showing muscle or flirting for attention to show power, the nightmare is ending as the Knight of Pentacles, loyal servant, workhorse, and dark horse, offers something healthy to the Hermit reversed, coming out, and that can be Virgo energy too, coming out to light their flame. Leaving it behind for a fresh, practical start. No black cats between their legs, or tripods or cauldrons or Dungeons and Dragons, or watching other lovers while missing their flame. Perhaps stockings or a high slit is still okay, and matching knees can be kept, or Wonder Woman cuff if she says it is so. A masculine would be okay with that too. So self-discipline comes up here, number 41, which is the Ace of Cups, and beneath that was domestic harmony, which is 46, the Six of Cups, the children in the garden, loving each other and coming together. So very beautiful energy. Self-discipline of the Ace of Cups, loving yourself, spiritual love and new love, and domestic harmony of the children in the garden, the secret garden of love. Patience for the fire swallower, which has to do with drama. At night in recovery from exile or injury, the wounded warrior leading the way. Through unhappy kids perhaps, and the Queen of Wands reversed, or her bad childhood, shadow people of her past, all wanting a piece of the journeyman's ass, the Divine Masculine's admirers, followers, and the public at large. No flowers for Algernon, the poor mouse who became smart and then lost his intelligence, still well aware of the change in his perceptions of others. Before, Charlie was blissful in his ignorance, he would have preferred to not have known what he could be in the first place, what he'd then be missing. So it's saying basically having it all and then losing it all, right? So it would have been better to not have had it in the first place. But what is it all? So it all has to do with your perspective in that. And that has to do with people who have, they did testing on a mouse in a lab, and the mouse's name was Algernon, and whether they could make them more intelligent. So they wanted to then test it on humans and take people with mental disabilities and test them. And so then in the movie, he becomes really intelligent, but then the lab rat ends up losing his intelligence and then dying. And so then Charlie knew that was going to happen to him too, as a very intelligent human. So now he really understood that. And then also understood all the people that liked him before at work were just making fun of him. But then when he lost his intelligence, he still remembered why they were being nice to him now. So he couldn't just allow that anymore because he knew they were making fun of him. So just, his life got all turned upside down. And also, what are the rights of these people in the first place? Like, should they have been able to experiment on them? And flowers for Algernon had to do with him asking them to at least leave flowers on the mouse or the rat's grave. I forget which one it was, but perhaps Algernon or Charlie had it all in the first place, or others left behind in his wake to success. The Queen of Wands reversed, the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups upright, and the King of Cups reversed with a past life relationship. The Hermit reversed using self-discipline, the 41 of self-love, spiritual love, and new love, and loving themselves first. And that was at 433, which is the Emperor, and the 33 of the Christ vibration, and also the 7 of Wands, standing up for yourself, taking the high ground. So continuing at 433, in the recent past, is the 8 of Swords, the prison, anxiety, feeling trapped, or your hands tied, all a perception. Being strong, taming the beast, or saying, at the doctor's, the Queen of Pentacles, or that could be at the dentist as well. The Queen of Pentacles reversed offers money or a loan or a new life to the 3 of Pentacles reversed. Perhaps a failing business or a need to let go. The Hierophant, Taurus, religion or establishment or marriage, taking a final walkthrough or crossing that bridge when it comes to it. So the masculine saying, I'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. Coming together in joy, offered new money or new life infused to a business perhaps, leading the way past suffering and silence and being stressed out, up at nights and not sleeping or crying and purging. The foundation here is letting go of the emotional attachments that no longer serve, and the King of Swords upright, grieving and expressing feelings and exchanging energy at night, tripping up, knowing, being in his knowing, and the tripping up was having to do with knowing what's going on but keeping it to himself. The King of Swords at night, without a mask on, purifying shared energies. The Lovers and the Dark Knight, which can be Scorpio, and the Dream Girl, which also could be an Aquarius instead, and the Queen of Swords reversed, sharing epiphanies of mental instability over isolation and or a Hermit or Virgo coming out, or an old person with Alzheimer's. Knowing the truth and keeping to themselves during chaos, breakdown and inability to move freely, or car issues, delays and cancellations, and emergency visits. The challenge being the 10 of Wands upright. That Atlas energy of burdens, the weight of the world upon their shoulders, but Atlas with the weight of the world is climbing up and out of the dungeon into the light. At night working hard or manual labor, defenseless to energies and spreading the word, or up to bat or stepping up to the plate in a move in with their soulmate. The King of Wands looking to see what's been going on back there while he surrenders, or actually holds POWs. Dumped, split, overwhelmed, purging, crying, peeing, vomiting, and cutting through the crap, maybe literally for some, the warpath and chaos. Instability, moving, sharing, teaching and learning, giving and taking, settling out. The King of Wands, Dark Knight, in death and transition or transformation, impatient fallen angel, grounding and integrating that offer of love, perhaps from a third party, through work or place of co-creation, or issues getting along at work, or loss of co-workers or employees, or loss of money and or business. No judgment, poor student, or deliberations, unable to make decisions, with a new passion over isolating with a strong connection, and overworking or not working at all. Now is the Three of Cups upright in the present moment for the masculine, dumping all his attachments so that lovers can come together. After indecision, the Knight of Cups offers love to the King of Pentacles in need of help, money, or an opportunity, but too proud to ask for help. Or the Knight of Cups may be, or it could be a child who's in need of help as well. So here is coming up that there's someone who may have hired a tutor for a child, where the King of Pentacles doesn't have the time to help the child with their schoolwork. And that was at 4:59, which is the Emperor and the Five of Swords, the enemy, right? The war within. So 10 of Cups is reversed here. Was it reversed? I know the 10 of Cups was upright. Coming of the schoolwork. Just give me 1 second. Oh, okay, it was. There was one part where the 10 of Cups is reversed over by the header, the 3 of Cups. So the rest of the read, the 10 of Cups is upright, but right here, along with the King of Pentacles here, the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups is reversed. But the rest of the read here, it's upright. Okay, so now with that 3 of Cups upright and dumping all attachments so lovers can come together after indecision, and the Knight of Cups offering love to the King of Pentacles, who may be in need of help, money, or an opportunity, or his child is in need of help, money, or opportunity, or he's too proud to ask for help. Again, somebody might be getting a tutor. And then the 10 of Cups reversed, an unhappy family, or an ending of family or emotional cycle there of unhappiness at 4:59. Perhaps still a bit sneaky, but coming clean or getting clean, choking on his own words, or in deliberations with the Queen of Wands reversed, who could be pissed here, or just tired, or sick and tired. She could be sick as well. There's a secret out of heartbreak or separation, third party, and reunion, or class reunions are coming up here, and catching up with friends. No peace or canceled travel, putting it out there to the Queen of Wands reversed, refusing advances. The Sun, kids, high energy, full exposure, or no peace, or no peaceful place to go, holding their tongue or lashing out, the two extremes of everything, suffering in silence, feeling like a failure, or just doing things under the radar, knowing but keeping to himself, he won't budge. The King of Cups reversed is bored, or with bored kids, and the Page of Cups is unable to find the right words to express their feelings. As a third party, through work perhaps, or dealing with issues at work. But the Page of Cups unable to find the right words to express their feelings has to do with that it's not a fantasy, but a real third party lover, deliberating new passion and or creativity, third energy and co-creation, keeping two lovers, or it's just the masculine's affections for his kids. The Page of Wands is inspired by the Page of Cups, offer of love, the divine feminine, or the world accepting their love. The Page of Wands is inspired to offer love to those bored around the world, trapped in conflict, battles, fights, and games that lovers play. Soon is the Five of Pentacles upright in the Mary Magdalene cave, in exile from the group, the Two of Cups in connection, losing family and or money and work, or just not resonating with those things anymore, moving, visiting, ending marriages or scheduled events, Justice, divorce, Libra rising above, or awake and coming out over the bridge, but without a car or a vehicle, perhaps on foot, or just stuck in the middle of the bridge, or collecting emergent resources for others. The Queen of Pentacles is reversed here, along with the Page of Wands upright. Sharing or paying bills, but trying to stay balanced. And the Queen of Pentacles, you know, could just be spending money, so she's paying bills. So it doesn't have to be something bad, but it can be ungrounding, thinking she's not sure where the next money is going to come from to pay those bills. The masculine is seeing himself as the Starseed, upright, with a big download coming in. The Queen of Wands dumping emotional attachments, and lovers or affections of the Magician manifesting big, the past returning or clearing a negative past, or difficult kids, impatient fallen angels, and the Page of Cups upright, that pure innocent love, or a message of love, puppy love, or a fish that's peeking out at you. So the masculine may actually just happen to end up right in line with staring into a fish's eyes and having to connect with that. So this fish could literally be looking at you in the eye. Aries comes up here, Virgo, Gemini, and Sagittarius reversed. And then true love for the masculine, as well as religious factors, which can be any differences, not just religion. It can be culture, age, whatever. And letting your friends help. Around the masculine, or how he's seen, is the Knight of Pentacles, looking back at the devil reversed, or detoxing chaos, or when they were most out of control, in the awakening, with ideas or big ego, in uncomfortable emotions and unable to escape. The Knight of Pentacles proposing to work through the difficult emotions together. The masculine is to clear blocks regarding the King of Wands shaman, running away from implementing a plan, with the Empress upright and the Emperor reversed, jumping from the fire into the frying pan. So it looks like he may have run away from one situation just to jump right into maybe even a worse situation. And that is his fear that maybe he's afraid to leave one situation because the next situation may just be worse than that one. But he needs to clear blocks about being the King of Wands shaman who works with natural things and can heal through that. And maybe he feels like that wouldn't be an accepted mode of work, you know, where he'd actually have enough clients to make a living, that kind of thing. So that energy's coming up. Nature, parenting, and even more so for the masculine has to do with their pride, not letting their ego get in the way. And that's at 525, which is the Hierophant, and the 25 is the Knight of Wands. All right, so committing to being passionate about what you do. And then the 26 of the Page of Wands, being inspired. The Queen of Cups is upright, and the 10 of Pentacles reversed, no fantasy here. The Queen of Swords reversed is not trigger happy, but actually I just lost my phone. She is the 10 of Cups upright, the 9 of Cups upright, and the Knight of Pentacles upright, loyal and humble, proposing help, money, and their time. Perhaps third-party lovers inspired to help. The Hermit reversed, in need of light, connecting with what's not working, why they're losing money, or why coming out and connecting is such hard work for the masculine and feminine. Ending karma, the Page of Wands inspired to offer love to the world, imprisoned by anxiety, conflict, and strife. The King of Swords offering a new life, or to pay off, or a loan, so they can be happy with themselves alone or get their wish, have their wish granted. The Queen of Swords reversed and the King of Swords upright, with karmic energy between them, the diamond in the rough exposed, and their wish granted. The Page of Cups and Knight of Cups, starseeds, receiving a big download, and they can be children as well, the Page of Cups and Knight of Cups, but they're both upright and being loving, so that's really nice. Starseeds receiving a big download, as the Knight of Pentacles is proposing help, time, and money, proposing help, money, time, and energy, causing anxiety of the lovers, challenged by burdens, or living in a basement, or living without lights or heat. In the Mary Magdalene cave, in exile from a group perhaps, the King of Wands shaman is coming together with the Queen of Swords reversed, deliberating the King of Swords proposal, and if it is satisfactory to them. The Page of Cups, or message of love, along with anxiety here and fear, imprisoning due to the Queen of Wands reversed, who could be out of control, pissed, or sick and tired. The Knight of Cups lovers are challenged by getting to the light, burdened to come together in joy in a fresh new start, with it one big download in exile in the Mary Magdalene cave, away from secretive group. The Knight of Pentacles proposing help to the King of Wands shaman, with the Queen of Swords reversed, grieving in exile, perhaps destitute, dealing with injuries or illness, and treated like the plague, in quarantine from the King of Swords, with a new life and happy without her. Or the Queen of Swords reversed and the King of Swords upright, or lawyers for the King and Queen of Wands. The King of Wands is upright, the Queen of Wands is reversed in a breakup. The Queen of Swords reversed may be in deliberations, with the King of Swords upright offering a satisfactory settlement. Okay, so that is the read for the masculine today. So I'll pull you some oracle cards. I definitely want to go with my Ascension deck and past life deck today. All right, so we're going to do the Ascension deck first. Everybody take a deep breath. So for everybody watching, for the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Let's clear all negative energies. We're going to clear all negative energies, all dark energies, all viral energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all those concerned, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take a deep breath, guys. Okay, so from the Ascension deck, what is our message? What is the message from the Ascension deck? Okay, we have Lady Nada popping right out. We have 45. That's Lady Nada is the twin flame of Jesus' higher self, Sananda. She is the master of the seventh ray of ritual and magic. Ceremonies that call in the mighty forces are important, so you're reminded to bring people together to raise great light, like we're doing now. A priestess in the Temple of Love in Atlantis, Lady Nada is bringing back ancient healing methods, helping the development of intuition, telepathy, and wisdom, and acting for justice. Your guidance is to trust your spiritual and psychic abilities and use them to help those in need. The affirmation is, I accept and practice my healing, spiritual, and psychic gifts. So don't be afraid to use them. And the 45 is also the 5 of Cups, the grieving, the loss and regret, the guilt and shame, the being stuck at the Y in the road, not being able to make a decision. Okay, so that's the 45 energy. We also have Pallas Athena, wants to be seen here. Number 48 is the walking away within, the 8 of Cups. And Pallas Athena is known as the goddess of truth and wisdom. She's the lord of karma for the 4th ray and holds the sword of truth to show humanity the way. Although she wields her sword for the highest ideals and divine truth, she prefers to use wisdom to settle disputes. And settlements were definitely just coming up in the read. Your guidance is to follow her example. See the higher perspective in all areas of conflict and draw on your abundance of wisdom and tact to communicate with everyone concerned and use the sword of truth to point the divine way forward. The affirmation is, I use the sword of truth to lead the way. Okay, and those were both Cups energies of going within. Okay, so the bottom of the deck is Sirius, which actually I was, Sirius was coming up for me yesterday. So I was looking up a few things. So you can get a little clear there. It's number 17, the star. The star system of Sirius holds 12 of the universal keys to enlightenment and ascension. When you access and comprehend them, you become a master of the universe. This card invites you to visit the training schools and universities of Sirius in your sleep in order to help develop your higher mind, access the spiritual laws of alchemy and magic, understand sacred geometry, and tune into angel sonics in higher dimensions. This is an opportunity to learn through the inner planes about spiritual technology and bring it forward for the new golden age. The affirmation being, I am open to the higher wisdom of Sirius. Okay. All right, so since we have, and Sirius was 17, the star, and then we have the 5 of Cups and the 8 of Cups, we're definitely going to ask Lady Nada and Pallas Athena. There's a lot about rituals and magics and justice coming up here. Yeah. All right, so let's see what comes up for this. So now we're going to do the past life deck, which is a Brian Weiss deck. What do we have in past life? Oops, I'm not shuffling in the right direction. Because we use these upward, we use reversals in this deck. So take a deep breath, guys. Okay, one more shuffle. Alrighty. Alright, from the past life deck, what is it we need to know? What is the point of this read? What are the messages you want us to take away from this read? Alright, this came right up by itself. The arts, but it's reversed. So just give me a second because another card wanted to come out too. A baby reversed and the arts reversed. So give me a second with that. The underlying energy is ships, and this is very clean and sailing your way. Brand new ship is coming in with the wind in their sails, in perfect balance. Clean and new, fresh and new. Crisp white linen. Knights in white satin. So why is the arts and the baby reversed? So this is what they look like upright. You have the guitar and the keyboards and the baby in the nest who has both the mother and father's hands available to them. And that may not be the case in every situation here, right? You may not have had that perfect family, or you may not have had music in your life growing up. All right? So this is... I'm getting that this is not the time for babies and music, because this is the time for your ship to come in. It's like to clear your schedule as your ship's coming in. Look how beautiful and pristine it is. It thinks you're going to be there waiting for it. So that's very interesting. It's not the time for the kids or the music. Oh, I'm getting the day the music died too. I am getting Buddy Holly, but I'm trying to get what else I'm supposed to be getting from this. I'm getting loops, energy loops, jumping through hoops. It's like, it's just saying to put away the old way of doing things. Because now it's like you can have music, not just music of guitar and piano, you can have music of the spheres and light language. And it's not your typical, you know, baby in the nest with the mother and father. There may be multiple parents in this situation. Maybe you have starseed parents that are actually closer to you than your biological parents. It's time for the baby to leave the nest. So some children may be leaving so that their parents can have the nest to themselves. Yeah, because this came up the other day too, pushing the babies out of the nest when they're ready, to not enable them, to allow them to fly on their own. And this is in line too with getting the tutor for your children, as opposed to, you know, when you're too stressed out to teach them every day because you live with your children every day. It's different when you get a fresh energy coming in to do the teaching, because they know they can come and then leave. So it's a very different energy. Give me another card. I'm going to shuffle for another card too. So don't forget the ships. This is the underlying energy. Lady Nada and Pallas Athena. Why are you giving me the arts? All right. Okay. So Lady Nada is giving me mother reversed. So again, it's, you know, it's kicking the kids out of the nest. Here's the time to take care of your children, but as they grow up, it's time to gently nudge them out of the nest, all right? So that's important. That's from Lady Nada. And that's that Five of Cups standing at the Y in the road, not wanting to upset your children but you know what they're ready for. All right. Let's see now. So this one is, this is from Pallas Athena. So this has to do with walking away and within. Right, and we again the monk or nun reverse, which came up the other day. So this is about closing the circuit, right? Keeping to yourself, and this is about opening your hands to share your chakras and your energy and your healing with others. This is the time you've been preparing for. I don't know why, too. I'm getting like someone holding their hands behind their back, but they're not crossing their fingers. I know it would be a really odd position behind your back, but for some reason I'm getting that. And I'm getting carrots, too. I'm getting carrots. Time to plant your carrots. There could be other kind of carrots coming up here, too. We have the Ace of Pentacles at the end of the reed, which is the diamond in the rough there at the end. So it could be, somebody could be getting a diamond here as well. So now the bottom of the deck energy, we also have the Asia, just getting Asia Minor, which is letting go of these strict rules about how things are supposed to be or being mean, right? This is a very strict parent. This is that Chinese type of perspective, right? Because your children's success shows what a good parent you were, right? So this is now being reversed. We're not doing that anymore. No stern parents. It's all about love. It's about love and shining your light, not being so disciplined. Self-discipline, not being disciplined so much by others. Teaching you how to teach yourself, all right? Taking care of your children until it's time for them to go. Teaching them to say their prayers until it's time for them to choose their own journey. Letting them go, not requiring them to believe the same things that you believe. It's very important to allow them to be sovereign, or allow them to be free. Allow them to explore. Allow them to have their ships come in. It's very important to allow your children that sovereignty. Why the day the music died? They want you to understand how powerful music is, because you see what's going on with the virus right now. Well, you know, this kind of energy, the same thing happened when Elvis died and when Betty Holly died. The whole world stopped for love. What was shown through their music. They want you to see the parallel in that. You can choose to put up lots of towers. And I love that Ralph Smart was talking about how all of the China being hit with the virus because of all the 5G towers they've already put up in China. So you poison the planet, then a planet gets you back, right? And puts a virus out there. So it's the same kind of thing, saying the virus has shut down the world, but so did love, right? The day that Elvis died, the day that Buddy Holly died. Look at the power that your children have when you allow them to love, to show their authentic selves. It's so powerful. Okay, and we're going to now go to the journey of love. Okay, so the journey of love. It's really interesting because there are rare times when you experience something like that. And I remember as a young girl, my sister's friend's father, I remember him bawling like a baby when Elvis died, which was so funny to me because my father didn't cry. And it's just something very memorable. How affected even grown men were by this young, you know, he wasn't so young anymore, but you know, he was around for a long time. Okay, let's see, journey of love. All right, what is it you want us to know? Pallas Athena and Lady Nada. Lady Nada and Pallas Athena. So the first card would be Lady Nada, second Pallas Athena, just like the first time around. Lady Nada and Pallas Athena, we're asking that you contribute to our message here, please. What do you want us to know? And there's exactly 2 cards that came out. Is there any more you want me to count? Any more? More. All right. I keep coming. Is that it? Nope. That's it. Okay. So the bottom of the deck is Heart of the Moment. 16 is the Tower energy. And you see how red that is. It's all about the root chakra and the heart. I mean, the heart's not a red chakra, but it's representative of the heart here. The Heart of the Moment. 16. It's like, you know, when you have a tower moment, it's like your root chakra coming up into your heart, right? That shock. That's the energy I'm getting there. All right, the 2 cards that came out. The first one from Lady Nada is Eruption of Light. Okay, so that's the Hieroskamos energy, right? Once you get into the vortex, into 0 point, that's when the magnificence happens. The eruption of light, the 11, the justice, the truth and balance that happens. And then for Pallas Athena, we have fire and ice. Very different energy there, but this is polarized and this is unified. Okay, 37 is the King of Cups, unconditional love. When you're polarized, you need to have unconditional love in order to bridge these things. And by doing that, you get into the vortex, the 0 point, and come into that Hieroskamos energy, the 11 of justice, truth, and balance. Fire and ice, and the Temperance card in the one deck came up there too. This card here, the Temperance card here in the Gilded Tarot, is very much like fire and ice. Like she's a fire swallower, but she's got water there too, melting from the ice. That polarized view. Anyway, it's very much polarized over here, as you can see. But once it melds together, you see how much smoother everything goes. It's all choppy when you're polarized, but once you become unified, you work as one, in unison. You know, like a choir, a perfect choir, when they're all singing at the same time. It's that beautiful light, you know, of coming together. This is physical union as well, for sure. Okay, so I have to count these cards real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We got the star again. Shine your light. Dreams come true. The card that's on the bottom of this pile is Spiral Dance of the Goddess, which is very much olive oil. And we have the fallopian tubes there too with the ovaries. I always see that here. And then the olive oil. 29 is being present in the moment, the gift of olive oil, how many things it's good for. Spiral Dance of the Goddess. There's so many different greens in here, but there's military green in here too. I'm just getting the beautiful energy of the olive oil and the pearl. So let's see where this goes. Okay, so the bottom of the energy, the bottom of the deck was this one. The bottom of the cards I had to count, which was the 17 of the star, and this is the 16 of the tower. So after the tower explodes comes the star, the brightness, which is this. After the tower explodes, there comes the star of the brightness. And then this green, it's like Christmas. That's what they're telling you. You know, the red and green. It's not quite Christmas green, though. It's like war. This is like war as well, right? Because this is military greens and then the blood of the wounded. Oh, it's making me want to cry. You see all the people who were lost in battle, right? The blood that's been shed due to war. The heart of the moment, and then the spiral dance of the goddess, which has to do with conception too, right? In war, people die, and so then there needs to be co-creation again. So here's the heart of the moment, the passion for each other, and then this is the conception of the egg and the fallopian tubes, and the olive oil, which greases the wheel, right? Keeps things going. You can use olive oil for everything. You can use it for your hair. You can use it for your skin, your food. Okay. All right, so we're going to read the other two. Let me pull out the book. First is Eruption of Light, number 11. So again, that's this one. I want to show it right under that, the bottom of the deck. I pulled that card off already, Heart of the Moment. Below that is Sacred Convergence. I wanted to bring that up because the convergence was coming up today in a conversation with my son. The convergence from 87. And God Speaks happens to be under that. So here, God Speaks and the Sacred Convergence, and then the Heart of the Moment. Okay, so Eruption of Light, this is what I'm reading now. Number 11. It was just 10107. 117. Magician, magician, and the chariot, the vehicle to which they ascended. Your every prayer is a power-packed eruption of light beamed into the divine presence. Some pray with fear or doubt, as though the prayer is not doing much at all. Yet you understand that prayer is powerful, that it is divine action set in motion. Your power of divine prayer emerges from your heart and out through your throat, whether you speak it or sing your prayer silently within your own mind, or aloud for all the world to hear. So again, they're talking about, instead of using instruments, they want to hear right now your own voice. Let your prayers be vocalized as feeling expressed to the divine in words or song if you choose. You have the power to heal at your fingertips and vocal cords. Through your voice, you can heal. Let your hands be joined in prayer position at your heart, so that came up as well, and your mouth open to let the breath of your spirit move through your throat, creating sound. As you speak it, so it shall be. This oracle holds a message for you. Your words have more power than you realize, and you have a special ability to heal with words, to bring light where it is needed, and to uplift through simple kindness spoken. You also have a message to bring. It might be an urge to write or speak on topics that are close to your heart. You may also simply have the need at a soul level to share from the heart with others when you're engaged in conversations. The oracle says your voice is part of your power, so do use it. So this is the reason for those cards. So they don't want you to use the musical instruments at this time. They want you to use your voice for singing or speaking, whatever it is. But also this says to bring your hands forward in prayer. But what it was reversed in the cards because you as twins don't necessarily need to bring your hands into prayer position to give benefit to these other people, okay? You want to open your hands and use your chakras to help heal them, as well as your eyes and your irises. All of those things heal them with light. So life begins with love. To complete itself again, symmetry is born. And then the second card I'm going to read to you is 37, Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice. And of course 37 again is the King of Cups, unconditional love. And it says, you are learning to hold the tension of opposites. And that came up in the cards as well, the opposites and then the unity. Of those things that don't immediately seem to go together within your being without collapsing into confusion, judgment, or denial. There is passion and serenity, creation and destruction, new life and death emerging within you, within your relationships. Sometimes this is hard to handle. We want to make things simpler, to just let go of the conflict and complexity and choose one or the other. You are grand enough soul to be able to withstand the rigors of depth, to go deep, to live fully, to let the divine have its way with you through you requires a willingness to stand at the center of pairs of opposites in that vortex and eventually know that they are connected to each other, that they exist only in relationship to each other to breathe and simply be. If you are consciously feeling the conflict in your life, internally or externally, then you're being initiated through fire and ice. Stay present, be patient, and wait. There's nothing to fix here, just awareness to step into as divine creation continues to unfold through you. As you master this initiation, you will find sweet nectar of bliss dripping within. This oracle brings you guidance that the conflict you feel within or externally is a sign of your spiritual growth. Soon you will grow larger than the conflict, but for now, You don't need to engage in it, simply to be present to it and allow it to work its way through you until you're strong enough to have outgrown the conflict, giving rise to a clear direction. It may seem impossible, beloved, but it is not. You are a vast being. Give yourself a chance to realize this and have patience. All is becoming, including you, according to the perfection of divine design. This oracle brings specific guidance on any relationship matter requiring a decision. Until you have simple clarity in your heart, beyond the pushing away and pulling closer, then it is time to wait, for there is more yet to be revealed. Only when your heart speaks clearly, then you will do well to act as feels truthful to you or for you. There is a beautiful silence now as I hold your hands and listen to your eyes. Across the span of moments called time, there are no words that say as much, nor walls that could confine the wings of our feelings or the rhythm of our eyes. So just remember of all of the obstacles you've come through in your life. So there's other times when you thought they would never end or there'd be no resolution. And look how you did overcome it. It did end and you did resolve it, right? The world always corrects itself. Nature has to correct itself. It's an energetic law. So have that faith too, that that will be the case now as well. Okay, so there's some really beautiful messages there. And so when you're nervous about deciding something, that means it's time to wait and not decide yet. Unless you're clear and actually inspired by your decision, then it's time to wait. There may be something that you're going to be redirected to that you need that time, energy, or money, whatever you were planning to do for something else. So you may not make sense to you at the moment, but that's where faith and trust comes in. That you trust your instincts, that if you're nervous about something, maybe you need to just wait until you're truly in your knowing and inspired to do something. Okay, so let me show you the cards. All right, so we have the Seeker of Chalices, or the Page of Cups there in the underlying energy, the Eight of Swords in the recent past, which was upright, but that was in the past. Seven of Chalices here in the foundation, which was reversed today, and the Lovers upright in the middle. The challenge being the Ten of Flames, upright, the burdens, the weight of the world, and then we have more underlying energy there, and then crowning is the Three of Cups upright there, which has been reversed a lot lately, so that's good. We scroll around or across the 4D bridge and into the Five of Crystals, which is the Mary Magdalene cave for me in this deck. It is upright, and the masculine sees himself as the Starseed upright today, and around him is the Knight of Crystals, or the Knight of Pentacles upright, and his blocks have to do with the King of Wands shaman there. He ends up here with the Queen of Swords reversed, and look at the colors of the cards. We have purple, yellow, and green. So the solar plexus, the heart, and the intuition of the third eye. And we end up with this Queen of Swords reversed, but that might just be her being silent, her holding back her thoughts, or her not being in her truth, or just very hurt because she is, after all, the Queen of Swords. And then we have the Judgment or Karma card above that reversed, so the end of karma, and then the King of Swords is upright above that, along with the Ace of Pentacles upright and the Nine of Cups upright at the end.